We're back to a smaller chunk after I finish the forced march through Excel, which chronologically will come later in Moodle. One of my students said, "That's too much." And I said, "Yeah, I know. Fortunately, you can rewind. All right, this is a smaller chunk. So in a week in Moodle, currently it's week 3, who knows at the time you find this video, there is a bit about how SimNet talks about how to put in page numbers. And this is one way of doing page numbers. I do not like it because it causes people problems. So my definition of wrong way to use computer is causes you pain and suffering. Right way to use the computer is things that make you happy and more productive and are more efficient. So this just gives you the, it's really the most obvious way to do it. And that's the problem. A lot of these things, there is a trick to it. There is some secret inside information. Once you have that, then you can do things much better. So this is how I do it. Of course, I believe that my way is the right way and the best way. So there you are. Many English teachers, history teachers, etc., use MLA style guide. That's Modern Language Association. A style guide is a set of decisions, rules that have already been made about how everything is supposed to be formatted. The great thing about that is all the documents look the same. You know where to find things that you are looking for. The majority of those style guides cover how to do their version of a bibliography. For MLA, that's a works cited page. And but here we have some things about the header and the page number, specifically the page number. So if you are doing something in the humanities, arts and letters, those departments, English, history, they're going to tend to use MLA. If you are taking a science class, they will tend to use APA, American Psychology Association, something, style guide. Theirs is different. So make sure you know which rules you're supposed to be following and then follow them. Okay, so now that you know that, or will know that, a proper, the one and only correct way to put a page number into an MLA style English essay or history paper is to put your last name and page number in the top right corner. How do you do that? So here's my Word document. And I am going to just slam some text in here. So I'm using a function like we're learning in Excel, and I'm telling it to stick in 5 paragraphs of 5 lines, hit enter. Now I just have some text chunked in here. I want to put this stuff in the header. I know that the header is here. I'm going to just double click. I could wander through some stuff in the ribbon. I don't feel like it. I will never feel like it. Okay. So I know that that exists. I can double click up here. You see this little thing that says header. Great, I'm in the header. Down here's the body. It is currently grayed out. I can't do things in this gray area. I'm trying to click on it, can't do it. Double click to get out. Double click to switch between sections. Oops, come down a little farther. Up, come down even farther. Up. All right, I can't find the bottom of my page because I don't have text going there. Too funny. All right. So I double click up here and I get into my header. By the way, I still know there's a footer down there just because at the moment I can't click on it. Doesn't change the fact that, yeah, there's a footer down there. That's the thing. When you are using the computer, if you don't know what is supposed to happen, you don't know if the result is right or wrong. I do know what to expect. And so I double click down there. It doesn't do exactly what I was expecting. And then after a moment, I realized, oh, that's because my page isn't long enough to reach down there. So as you get better with the computer, you will recognize where you are. You will recognize if you make a misclick and wind up in the wrong place, and then you can immediately come back. When you don't know what's going on, you can go way, way, way down that bumpy pothole road and get lost and not even realize it. All right, back to this. I go up into the header. I'm going to type my last name. So today I'm going to be Bob Brown. So my last name is Brown. Hit the space bar. Here's the big money deal. Go into page number. I'm not going to pick top of page or bottom or margin. I'm always going to go to current position. I'm going to pick the first one because that is how MLA tells me to do it. And it plunks in a page number where my mouse is currently. If I highlight that, you will notice that this is a different color. Brown and the space have this light gray highlighting. The page number has dark gray highlighting. It's different. I never typed a 1 there. The computer inserted some program code to make that happen. In fact, if I right-click on it, we can toggle the field codes and we can see, oh, that's the piece of code that it put in there. Ah, well, that's interesting, isn't it? So here is the, I think it's Visual Basic is the language right now, specific to Microsoft Office. That's the code that is sticking in there. And I never want to have to remember that. So we're just going to not look at the man behind the curtain. Okay. So there's my thing. But I can tell I've got a piece of programming code in there because it highlights a bit differently. That's nice. Okay, last thing that I need to do. Oh, and I have skipped a step because I already changed my copy of Word. I changed my defaults to always be Times New Roman 12 because I like it. If I was using a default copy, what you probably have, it will come up as Calibri 11. Watch out for that. This header is a separate section from the body, and the footer is a separate section. And they all start with their plain vanilla, their default settings. So you will have to go up here and you will have to change this to Times New Roman 12, and I absolutely will notice. Once you see these things, you can't ever unsee it. And they're just a completely different font. Times New Roman happens to be a serif font, whereas Calibri 11 is a sans serif font. Sans serif we go into more in PowerPoint. That's where it tends to come up. But you'll notice that this Calibri is just straight, very chunky, even thickness on everything. Those are all parts that make it a sans serif font. Specifically, it's the little bits at the ends of the letters and numbers that are the serifs, those little flags, those little flourishes, those little pointy bits at the end of these letters coming off the back of this B, the little feet on the R, and the funny little nose on the R. Those are all serifs. And Calibri looks completely different. See how straight everything is and chunky? So that is a sans serif font. In Espanol, probably sin serif. Sans is Latin or French for without. Okay, so watch out for that. Yes, it will be wrong on your final if you don't have the correct font. Okay, last thing I have to do for MLA is shove it over to the right. Now, whatever you do, don't get out here and be hitting your space bar. That's horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Don't do that. Awful mess. You just terrible. Don't do that. So I just want to stick it over there on the right. Okay, so now that I've done that, what does it do? Well, this is the header, and this section is separate from the body section, separate from the footer. So these exist in their own little dimension in time and space, and it sticks this at the top of every single page. So if I go down here and I add more page, so I'm going to select all and paste a whole bunch. Whoops. Pasting code from Control-C. There we go. See, you make mistakes all the time, even if you're a computer expert like me. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So now I've got a whole bunch of pages. What page am I on? Let's see. Oh, I'm on page 2 now. Great. And there's page 4. Okay. So these just chug along. Very nice. Things that I could do that would be wrong. So here's what people often do that does not work. So I'm going to just delete that out of there, come back over to my starting point. So if I put my thing in, so I'm student Brown, actually I'm student Smith. And Smith doesn't know what he's doing. All right, so I'm going to type a 1 here, right? Then stick it over on the right-hand side. Hey, that looks really good. Let's see. Here's page 2. See down here, I can say page 2 of 4. Oh, there we are on page, oh no, it's a 1 again. Okay, so let me delete that and I'll put in a 2. Great, okay. And then I print it and I go to the printer and oh no, every page is page 2. Why is this happening to me? Oh no. Okay, it is happening to me because I have fundamentally failed to understand what a header does for a living. So what a header does for a living is it repeats the same thing over and over and over again exactly on every page. But if it repeats the same thing exactly on every page, how, oh how will I get different page numbers? Because traditionally the whole point of page numbering is to put the correct page on the correct sheet of paper, the correct page number, right? Okay, I do that by inserting a piece of code. So here I am just freewheeling. I mean, I'm on the home tab. Oh, how do I get to that? What on earth? Well, I want to stick a page number in there. Insert page number. Don't get in here. Don't get into these things like header. I want to put it in the header. Yeah. But you're already in the header. So trust me, that is not what you want. Footer. Oh yeah, that's for sure not what I want. Page number. Top of the page. What would be so wrong about putting it at the top of the page, teacher? Well, it will end in tears and wailing and gnashing of teeth. That's what's wrong. So I pick top of page. I go here. What most people don't realize is this option says replace top of page. It doesn't say that, but it says that. Replace top of page, replace bottom, replace margin, add at the current position. So that's just invisibly written there. So if I choose top of page and I choose this one, oh no, where'd my name go? And now I'm back on the left and oh no. And look at that, I've got an extra line. I've got an extra paragraph. Okay, Control-Z, don't do that. So where am I now? Now this is moved again. This is moved again. Why is that moved again? What is it doing? Why doesn't it, what's going on? I am now in the header footer contextual tab. So I can get this several different places. When I am in the contextual tab, the now you see it, now you don't tabs, this stuff is arranged a little different, and this is a whole tab about header and footer. Go back down here, I'm in the body, back up to the header. Oh, now I'm here. Depends on how I got here. These things kind of move around and I don't what's going on. Insert has the page number information and the header and footer information here. But if I'm in the header footer tab, which only appears when I'm in the header footer, I'm going to go back to the body for a sec. See how that tab's gone? Now I'm in that tab. Okay, then the page number's over here. Okay. Now, exiting that tangent and coming back to where we were, I want to stick a page number in. Page number, I don't want it to mess with what I already have. I want to add it to my current position. Click it. There's my page number. Highlight it. Yeah, I've got stuff that I typed, and then different color thing that the computer did, little piece of code that it puts in there. So this little piece of code goes and looks down here and says, what page am I on? Stick that number here. And then on this page, it says, where am I? I'm on page 2, stick that information here. So this is a little piece of code that does exactly the same thing relative to each page, just like we'll get in Excel, relative and absolute. Smith is absolute. I typed capital S, M-I-T-H, space. That's absolute. I hard coded that. I typed it in. This part, I put in a variable, a thing that will change, a piece of code that says programmatically, these are all different words that we use. It says, hey, where am I? Oh, I'm on page 2. Cool. Let's display that. And then I come down here and it says, dude, where am I? It wakes up over here and it says, where am I? Oh, I'm on page 3. Cool. Let's display that. So that's what this piece of code does. It says, where am I? I'm on this page number, display this page number. So that is how that logic works. So very quickly, delete that. Put this back where it was. Okay, let me go back up here, and now I'm going to run through it one more time, more at my speed with less color commentary. I have my document. It's more or less formatted how I want. I'm going to double click in the header because I know it exists and I can get there fast. I'm going to put in my last name as per protocol. I'm going to hit the space as per the current version of MLA. Page number, current position, plain. Make sure, go to Home tab, make sure my font is correct. It is, good. Shove it over to the right-hand side, and I'm done. Any questions? All right, go forth, make good life choices.